The city of Susa pulses with life, a symphony of bartering merchants and marching soldiers under the desert sun. Voices rise in a fervent dance of commerce, each merchant vying for attention in the crowded streets. Steel armor flashes as soldiers stride, their presence a constant reminder of Xerxes' dominion. In the distance, King Xerxes' palace pierces the sky, a symbol of power and imperial ambition. Xerxes' throne room bursts with opulence. Nobles recline amid mountains of food and rivers of wine, exotic music filling the air. King Xerxes, a figure of imposing power, surveys the lavish spectacle with a satisfied gaze. Queen Vashti is summoned to appear before the guests. A narration echoes through the hall. A hush falls as the court awaits Vashti, anticipation thick in the air. The silence stretches, broken only by nervous whispers and clinking goblets. She refuses, shocking the court. The narration booms, disbelief rippling through the opulent gathering. Sunlight illuminates Mordecai's humble home, where Esther pores over ancient scrolls, the scent of parchment filling the air. Mordecai's brow furrows as he guides Esther through a passage, his focus intense. A messenger arrives, his presence cutting through the quiet study with urgent news from the palace. Mordecai listens intently as the messenger speaks of Queen Vashti's dismissal, his expression shifting with concern. Mordecai turns to Esther, a mixture of worry and unspoken hope in his eyes, as the kingdom seeks a new queen. Esther enters the royal palace's women's quarters, her eyes wide with wonder and apprehension. Sunlight illuminates tapestries of valor as young women whisper, their faces mirroring hope and uncertainty. Months pass as Esther immerses herself in royal etiquette, her movements becoming refined. She learns diplomacy and courtly conversation, mastering the power of a well-placed glance. Amidst opulence, Esther's humility shines, earning the respect and affection of the women. Esther offers encouragement, shares possessions, and listens with empathy to their fears. In Xerxes' throne room, Esther stands before the king, her grace holding him captive. The throne room air is thick with anticipation as Xerxes gazes upon Esther. Out of all the women, he chooses Esther to be his new queen. The narration echoes. Esther is crowned Queen of Persia, her beauty now matched by royal power. She is crowned Queen of Persia, but remembers Mordecai's words. The narration continues. Mordecai's imperative echoes in Esther's mind. Do not reveal that you are Jewish. Sunlight blazes across Xerxes' palace courtyard, revealing its opulent splendor. Haman strides through, radiating pride and ambition. Haman expects the customary bows, his rise to power evident in the deference of those around him. Haman demands that everyone bow before him, the narration declares, highlighting Haman's arrogance. Mordecai refuses, honoring God alone, the narration reveals, setting the stage for conflict. Haman stops abruptly, his face contorted in rage at Mordecai's defiance. A dark plan begins to form. Haman is enraged and plots revenge against Mordecai and all the Jewish people, the narration ominously warns. In his office, Haman stands before King Xerxes, his voice dripping with honeyed persuasion as he weaves a tale of danger. Xerxes, unaware of Haman's deceit, nods slowly, his expression hardening with each word of the fabricated threat. With decisive force, the king slams the royal seal onto the decree, sealing the fate of many with a single powerful gesture. Haman bows deeply, a triumphant smile spreading across his face as Xerxes rises, his dark plan now set in motion. At the palace gate, Mordecai is consumed by grief, tearing his clothes in anguish as Haman's decree bears down on him. His cries of lament echo through the bustling courtyard, a stark display of despair. The heavy palace gates loom as Mordecai's figure stands in stark contrast. News of Mordecai's profound distress pierces the palace walls, reaching Esther's ears. Esther, troubled by the news, urgently commands, "Send messengers to Mordecai. I need to know what has happened. Why is he in such despair?" she demands, her voice filled with urgency. Sunlight floods Esther's opulent chambers as a royal messenger awaits. Mordecai's scroll weighs heavily in her hand. Esther's brow furrows with worry, her silk gown a soft whisper against the cold marble floor. The weight of Mordecai's words presses down on her, a silent burden in the sunlit room. Esther stops pacing, her gaze hardening with resolve as she grips the scroll tighter. "Perhaps you were made queen for such a time as this," echoes in her mind, a call to destiny. In the opulent throne room, Esther, draped in royal robes, bravely enters, unbidden. King Xerxes, a figure of immense power, regards her with a stern, unreadable expression, a gesture of mercy. The golden scepter extends, a lifeline offered in the tense silence. The air is thick with unspoken words, the fate of a kingdom hanging in the balance. Narration: Esther invites the king and Haman to a private banquet. Esther stands radiant, candlelight shimmering on her gown as a lavish banquet unfolds around her, masking the tension beneath. King Xerxes and Haman watch with curiosity, unaware of the storm brewing behind Esther's serene smile. Her eyes, pools of unreadable intensity, scan the hall, calculating every detail, every hidden motive. Esther's voice, smooth as silk, cuts through the cheerful music. "Your Majesty, esteemed Haman, I am honored by your presence. I would be further gratified if you would both join me for another banquet tomorrow night," she adds, a subtle challenge hanging in the air. Inside the grand banquet hall, King Xerxes watches, awaiting Esther's revelation as the second banquet reaches its zenith. Esther's voice cuts through the opulent hall. "I reveal Haman's plot to destroy my people." Esther points, her voice ringing with resolve. "He is the enemy." Haman pales under the weight of sudden accusations and the piercing gaze of the court. Relief floods the faces of the Jewish people as King Xerxes rises, fury contorting his features.